Right now on News 19 at 11, it's Restaurant Week with options from pad thai to ratatouille. There's something on the menu for everyone. We'll tell you what local chefs are cooking up. Plus, we'll have high school hoops highlights.
And after the tornado outbreak that happened yesterday that also included South Carolina, well, it's going to be a lot quieter tomorrow, but it is also going to be noticeably cooler. We'll talk about it in your forecast. News 19 at 11 starts right now.
And good evening now. We begin tonight with Restaurant Week in South Carolina. The 11-day event's going to be bringing more foot traffic to locally owned restaurants here in the Midlands and potentially bringing in some new customers. Our Peyton Lewis joins us in studio tonight with more details. Peyton?
JR, for this year's Restaurant Week menu, you can find everything from quick-style American food to a 5-star sit-down meal. With something for everyone to try, local restaurants we spoke with are just hoping to be someone's new favorite place to eat. This is the first weekend of Restaurant Week in Columbia, and local restaurants like Hampton Street Vineyard are hoping for the best.
We're happy to have anyone come on our doors any time of the year, but Restaurant Week is really a fantastic time.
Hampton Street Vineyard has participated in Restaurant Week for almost 30 years. And every year, managing partner Jonathan Lopez says it brings a helpful boost.
It makes a really big difference, especially in when they have it. And so they choose times that are typically a little bit slower for restaurants, so January and the end of summer, which really, for us, is the real benefit is that you're bringing in people and getting people excited about restaurants during a time when people are typically not going out as much.
The Vineyard is a sit-down style restaurant that serves traditional French food. And on their menu this week,
for entrees, we have really great classic French dishes like ratatouille. We have a coq au vin made with rosé, which we call coq au rosé, pork schnitzel, and a steak frite.
Hampton Street Vineyard and their neighbors down the road at Good Life Cafe are both hoping Restaurant Week will bring some new hungry faces to their doors.
Us being a very small restaurant and then one of the very few vegan restaurants in Columbia, we have to strive that much harder to bring in customers and drive revenue.
And this food-centric week gives people a chance to try locally owned restaurants at a special price as well.
Like $15, yes. We have here the Mediterranean pizza, which is one of our features, and then we also have a taco pizza.
All the participating restaurants have special menus dedicated to Restaurant Week and range in price from about $15 to $70. And this is the first weekend of Restaurant Week, but it goes till January 22nd. For a full list of places participating, you can visit our website at WLTX.com. Reporting in studio, Peyton Lewis, News 19 WLTX.
Well, even as record high inflation eases off just a little bit, the U.S. Ag Department tonight saying you can expect to see your grocery bill go up this year. Let's take a look at their latest numbers tonight because this is staggering. Meats and fish, they say expect to pay between 3% and 5% more in the coming months. Dairy products, a 4% to 5% increase in the coming months. And eggs, my goodness, those prices, they are soaring. Not too long ago, you can get a dozen eggs for about $1 a dozen, but now that number is over $4 a dozen. And with those prices so high, some Midlands residents telling us tonight they're considering getting their own hens to have eggs laid at their home with no additional cost at the grocery store. Some are even buying their eggs from local chicken farmers, but the demand is so high, there are delays.
Yes, it kind of varies throughout the week, but you've been having to put them on a list, waiting list.
From 1 week to 2 weeks.
And if you're considering getting hens, some Midlands communities have restrictions on how many chickens you're allowed to have. For more information, you can find this story on our website tonight. Simply go to WLTX.com.
Well, despite all the cloud coverage we had really from this morning to this afternoon, the temperature started off relatively warm for this time of the year, a low of 49, but we only managed to reach a high of 59 degrees. Now, right now in the Columbia area over Williamsport State, the skies have already cleared up. It's 44 degrees, but it feels like 37. Now, there's still a lot of cloud coverage south of I-20 and a couple of very light showers in eastern portions of Orangeburg and in central Clarendon County, but those aren't going to last, but it is going to be frighteningly cold again. In the morning, we'll start off with clear skies, northwest winds. We're looking at a low of 31 degrees, and we'll have a lot of sunshine tomorrow, but the winds like today will pick up again out of the northwest at 15 as we look at a high of only 47 degrees. And when you compare what the temperatures were for high yesterday compared to what we're going to have in the morning, that's a 41-degree extreme drop. And as we get to next week, the temperature is just going to go backwards, back in the 70s. We'll take a look at that extreme weather in just a few minutes.
This week, NOAA, along with international climate scientists, released the 11th annual peer-reviewed analysis explaining extreme events from a climate perspective. The documents say research was completed using both historical observations and model simulations to determine whether and by how much climate change may have influenced particular extreme weather events. Studies of extreme weather events were conducted across the globe. One study found human-induced warming made the probability of the record-breaking winter hot spell experienced in East Asia in February 2021 between 4 and 20 times more likely. Back home in South Carolina, we are currently averaging 25 days a year, classified as dangerous or extremely dangerous heat index, according to the National Weather Service. This number is estimated to more than double by 2030. Another study stated extreme rainfall experienced in the UK in May 2021 was 1.5 times more likely due to human-induced climate change. An increase in rainfall is a big concern for South Carolina residents. According to the EPA, since 1958, the amount of precipitation during heavy rainstorms has increased by 27% in the southeast. The trend towards increasing heavy rainfall storms is likely to continue. For News 19, I'm meteorologist Aaron Walker.
Almost 3 weeks since the Colony Apartments in Columbia were evacuated, some residents say they've had some items stolen from their homes. The apartments were initially evacuated over the holidays when freezing cold temperatures and gas leaks made living conditions unsafe. Columbia police now say some people living at the apartments have had firearms, TVs, and other items stolen while they've been living away. While police continue to investigate the robberies, the Columbia Fire Department is inspecting the apartments, but the agency isn't sure when every unit will be safe for residents to return. Around the nation now, the White House continuing to face questions tonight about classified documents found in President Biden's Delaware home and why that discovery wasn't revealed sooner. Earlier today, the president ignoring questions from reporters about the special counsel investigation looking into his handling of the documents during his time as vice president. Republicans who took control of the House some 10 days ago believe there was a cover-up here, and they're demanding answers from the White House. Meanwhile, the Trump Organization has been ordered to pay a fine of nearly $2 million. This comes a month after a jury in New York found 2 Trump Organization companies guilty of tax fraud. Executives at the companies were found to have illegally reduced payroll liability in multiple ways, including giving executives untaxed bonuses. But defense attorneys say the former president was not aware of the illegal activity going on in his company. And the U.S. Department of Treasury is warning the nation could soon hit its debt limit next week. Tonight, the Treasury Secretary urging federal lawmakers to raise the debt limit before next Thursday. If the limit is reached next week, it will be the first U.S. credit default in history. The White House says a default could stop the federal government from giving financial help to families, maintaining national defense, and funding the public health system. Well, right before the broadcast, the winning numbers from the nearly $1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot were announced. It is the second biggest prize in that game's history. If someone in the Midlands, or anywhere for that matter, were to win it all, the cash option would be an estimated $568 million. But it may be a couple of more hours now before we know if there was a jackpot winner tonight. A new women's health clinic in Columbia is now open. This morning, Eau Claire Cooperative Health Center held a welcome party for the new 8,200 square foot facility. It is sitting at the corner of Pine and Gervais Streets, the edge of the historic Waverly neighborhood. We spoke with Cooperative Health about their decision to put the facility in downtown Columbia.
So it allows our OB/GYN physicians to be able to have access to provide the ambulatory services, but also to be close enough to the hospital that they could be able to do that as well. And then understanding the historic Waverly community and how much this community has been a part of providing healthcare services to the African American community, it just seemed like a perfect fit.
And they tell us the center has already started to welcome in patients. Midland's homeowners looking to give their house a makeover found some inspiration at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center today. That's where a home building and remodeling expo is taking place. Homeowners are able to chat with remodeling experts about new design trends in kitchens, landscaping, and home security.
We've got, something for everybody as far as in their home, whether they're doing inside improvements or outside improvements, or whether they're looking to just do a little bit of instant gratification and buy something like a bed. They can do that here as well. Everything connected to the home. We have dog training here as well, so if you need to train your dog, and then of course, like I said, anything that's connected to your home as far as improvements or building.
If you missed today, you still have a chance to learn from the experts as that expo continues tomorrow and Sunday.
Summerton and Manning, for years we've feuded with each other. We're the same people.
Dale Powell has been part of the Clarendon County community for 30 years. He says he's seen violence in the community get progressively worse and decided to make a call for action when it arrived at his doorstep.
My son was murdered by gun violence also 2 years ago.
In 2019, the FBI tracked 137 violent crimes in Clarendon County. This Sunday, Powell is calling for the community to come together for peace. County leaders and mental health professionals will be offering support. They'll be joining local families who lost their loved ones' lives to gun violence and are now sharing their stories and working together to explore solutions. The mission is to unite the communities of Clarendon County and provide a safe space to address gun violence.
When it first happened, everybody is at the funerals, everybody is in your home, but then after that, you're by yourself. And nobody can really relate to you because they don't know how you feel about that. We need that same amount of energy. Same amount of energy when it's time for us to go out here for justice, when it's time for us to advocate, when it's time to go out here and talk to these children.
Clarendon County Coming Together for Peace takes place Sunday at Sugar Hill Community Field in Manning from 1 to 5 p.m. In Clarendon County, Nigel Hood, News 19 WLTX.
At USC's Horseshoe today, a new historical marker was unveiled. It recognizes the history of USC during the Reconstruction period. During those years following the Civil War, the school saw its first black trustee, faculty member, and student. That new marker was created through a partnership of USC's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion with Historic Columbia.
In addition to providing the opportunity to educate visitors to the site, our organization took the opportunity to build on our advocacy around raising awareness of this misrepresented period of our history.
Well, that new marker is located on the west end of the USC Horseshoe. If you are looking for a cheap way to have fun with the family, free Fridays are available at the Riverbank Zoo. Today was one of those days. Residents of Richland and Lexington counties can enjoy free admission every Friday from now until the end of next month. You will need to show proof that you live in one of those counties for free to get in for free, like a driver's license or a bill showing your address.
Normally during January and February things are a little slow, especially on weekdays, but then when you come out on free Fridays and it's busy and it's popping, it's fun to see guests out here. It feels like more of a peak season kind of day versus just a dreary January or February afternoon.
For more information on Free Fridays at the Zoo, you can check out the zoo's website or their Facebook page. In Lower Richland County, couples around the Hopkins area put on their dancing shoes tonight for the adult prom at the Garners Ferry Adult Center. It ended just moments ago. Tonight's dance was completely free, including live music and plenty of local foods. Meanwhile, it won't be long before it's time for high school prom, and we know it can put a financial stress on some families. That's why we've partnered with the Cinderella Project to help teenage girls find the perfect gown for free. If you'd like to help, you can drop off gently worn or new dresses, shoes, and accessories at more than a dozen locations, including here at News 19. We're collecting the items at our studios until Wednesday, February 15th.